I was American born, and I'll die in America.
Welcome to our group. Welcome to Defender 7. Defender 7 has so much knowledge, and this ought to show it right here.
Do you or someone you know suffer from depression? If so, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to first start out by saying happy Easter weekend. I hope your weekend's being a beautiful one for y'all. Tonight's show is our Saturday night survival through Homesteading site. And I believe there's another site too that was just forwarded to me that we will run over to with your host, Colonel Kimberly PURVIS, and I'm your co-host and general of the Defender 7, Bobby Ormsby. Now, I need to read this disclaimer before we can get on with the show. The views and opinions expressed on Defender 7 radio show and Facebook page are those of the callers and or authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Defenders 7. And that out of the way. Again, I'd like to welcome you all. And those of you that are new just tuning in, we do have a website also. Go to our website by typing in all lowercase letters, www.defenders, Roman numeral V is in Victor, with 2 small i's.com. When you arrive at the page, you'll see that we have a store and a donate button. All proceeds, 100%, and donations go back to our communities throughout all 50 states in a time of need. So please, by all means, purchase something from our store or click that donate button. Every bit helps, and that's the only way that we're able to provide the services during a natural disaster or any shit hits the fan situation, is by sales from our store and donations. So help us to help you and your communities. We can also be reached on our national Facebook page by typing in the search box, all capital letters, Defenders 7. Now, before you click on that join button, just know that we expect all of our members and our future members to participate throughout everything we do here on the Defender 7. Training, meet to meet, get to know who's in your community that'll back you up and have your six when shit hits the fan. Training on disaster relief, survival skills, you name it. If you get in and you feel that it's not the type of group that you want to be a part of, you can always leave with no hard feelings. We can also be reached on MeWe by clicking on organizations, scroll all the way down to Defenders 7, Humanitarian American Patriot Group. Now, for tonight's show and all the shows we do here on Blog Talk, we love it when you call in and give us your opinions, your thoughts. Everybody's opinion counts. We treat each other like family here in the Defender 7. We're all one big extended family. That number to call, area code 914-205-5773. Come on, folks, call in, participate with us, and chat with us. We do make it fun, too. It's not all serious. Area code 914-205-5773. And now please let me turn the microphone over to our Colonel, Kimberly Purvis. And we also have with us again tonight our captain from Wisconsin, Lorna Monson.
Wisconsin, how are you?
Wisconsin.
I tell you what, it's like 80 degrees in my freaking house right now.
I'll tell you what, it was 80 degrees outside my door right now.
It's
50.
in the house. In the freaking house.
It's 52 outside here. It's 52 outside here.
Inside the house, it's 70.
Well, I turn the air on for a little bit, and then once it cools down, and then I'll open the windows back up. Any birthdays, anniversaries? Anyone want to give a shout out to whoever? Say hey. Or anything?
Can I just shout?
Hey, hey.
No. Let's see. I found a couple other websites. Because we might finish up the homesteading. I don't know. It all depends. But there's another one that says 55 items survivor gear list and the 10 best survival items. And then there's no way we're going to cover all of this one. It's the top 101 prepper and survival website. And there's a little description of each one, and then there's a link to each page on this one particular link. So we'll put it on our national page. And something else that I was thinking about because I just got my new laptop, and I was able to download Screencast, or it's called Screencast-O-Matic, and that's where you can do a video while you're on your laptop and show what it is that you're looking at. So I was thinking about,
cool.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put it on the YouTube page, and then I can upload the video to our national page. And I don't know, can we put the link to our YouTube page on the Blog Talk station, or you're not allowed to do that?
I think I got to figure it out. I don't know how to do it. I know people do it.
Okay. Because they're not going to be long videos. I'm just, because what I can do is I can just put like this homesteading one, and I could break it down into small little 10-minute videos, and then I could start doing any of the other ones. I mean, even Weathers, if he can get some videos done, but it also depends on your phone.
Right.
Because my cell phone would not download Screencast-O-Matic. This laptop is an HP. My other one was an HP. This one let me, but the other one said it's not a reliable source, which it is.
Right.
Colleges use it. That's what I use it for, is college. So anybody can make videos, and we could put them on on our YouTube page. I'm still working on it, but I got classes.
Before we get into everything, if you're done talking about that, I do have something to throw out there. So let me know when you're done. Before we get into the. Okay. Now next weekend, the 9th and the 10th, I'll be in Virginia on a search, and I will still be doing the show with you.
Okay.
But I want to put out there, anybody from Virginia that's listening, especially in the Spotsylvania County area. I know it's an old case. It's from 2015, but her name is Caitlin. Where's her last name at? Caitlin Akins. And we're going to be doing a search out there along with We Can Bring You Hope, which is basically a group that sistered up with us. We help them, they help us. So, I'll be out there for Friday and Saturday night, but I will still do the show Saturday night. I'll just be broadcasting live from Virginia. Again, that's Caitlin Akins. She went missing in 2015, and there's a lot. At the time, I want to say, I'm still trying to find her age. At the time, I believe she was 19.
Oh, okay. Was she in college?
Yes, she was attending college in Phoenix, Arizona. She was at home on a break.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, damn, did they bring her from Arizona to? Okay.
No. It's suspicious circumstances. I don't want to get into
that's fine.
the specifics till next weekend.
Okay.
Which I'll do as I'm, introducing you to the show next week. I'll do all that in my spiel. This way, anybody listening from Virginia can keep their eyes out.
Okay.
And all they need to do is go to We Can Bring You Hope page, and they can look it up, because there's many flyers going around about it.
Oh, okay. Is that anywhere near Winchester?
No, it's actually down by Franconia and Fredericksburg.
Oh, okay. No, I got friends in Winchester, but they don't. That's nowhere near it. So, oh well. Good. Is there anything else anybody has before we get going?
No, that's all I had. I meant to do that while we before I brought you in.
Oh, that's all right. But like Bobby said, hope everyone's having a good Easter. And just remember our troops that are deployed. Can you hear my echo? Can you hear my echo?
I don't hear nobody echoing.
I hear echo.
You hear voices. You hear voices anyway, so.
Shut up.
No, I'm talking about Lorna.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Yeah, it better be.
Kim, we already know you got 10 personalities, but
Yeah,
Lorna hears voices in her head.
Mine are napping. Mine are napping right now. So we left off last week with the edible mushroom, and I forgot to put the link down for everything on our national page. But if you have an iPhone, go on your app store. Okay, I can't do this. I'm not going to hang up and call back because I can hear myself. I can hear myself.
Okay. Sometimes
give me a second. I'll right back.
Echoing really bad. And so am I.
Echo.
So am I.
Echo.
So am I.
Echo.
You're not echoing.
Because I'm the man. Lorna's cooking dinner.
Man.
Lorna's cooking dinner.
I was. I am. Leftovers.
Okay.
Yeah, see? Lorna can't cook.
I can't cook.
Oh, and also, before we get started, Kim, you asked me last week about Skype. Apparently, Blog Talk is still having a problem with it working on Blog Talk, because every time I sign in now, I get a message at the top that says Skype is inoperable at the time.
Freaking would figure. Well, also on our YouTube page, I got to figure out how to, for you to, I don't know how it happened, but I have like 9 of our shows on our YouTube channel, and it's Defender 7, and it has the eagle with the red, white, and blue on it. It says brotherhood, sisterhood, and everything. But I managed to look up the videos and download them to the YouTube channel. So I don't know how that happened, where they were available. It showed them, and I got to figure out how to download them onto the channel. And people can also go in through YouTube and not just Blog Talk.
Right.
I think they can, like, I got 9 shows on there, past episodes, and I got the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday one. But there's just a couple different ones.
Even that channel I made, all of our shows get directly put on there.
Oh. So then I got to figure out how to do that.
I know. With us, I just need the RSS feed, because the link with the RSS feed in it. Because how I set it up is that we got Spreaker. It's a company that puts it out on all the media, social media platforms for us.
Oh, okay.
As long as you have an RSS feed, they'll automatically add it to that feed once it's downloaded at the end of the show.
Oh, okay. We'll figure it out, but we'll get it going. So,
but I don't know how I did it. Like I said, when I made my video channel for Defender 7, I don't know why I couldn't get into the one you guys made up. I can now, but I'm trying to figure out how to transfer things. But when it comes to our shows, that's all I need is the RSS feed.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can change it and do whatever you need to. I mean, that's fine.
I don't even want to, Kim. I don't even want to mess with it.
Why?
Because the easiest way to do it, get me the RSS feed from the one you made up, and all these shows will be automatically uploaded to it.
Oh, good, cool.
I'll
do that.
I got headaches trying to figure that crap out.
I know. You should have seen me try to figure out the Screencast-O-Matic. I couldn't get it, so I had to get another kind. And I had to change because he wants our camera in the corner. It doesn't matter where it's at in the corner, top, left, right. It doesn't matter. And then every time you shut it off, you have to resize it, move it, and then you have to have speaker and audio and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, my God. And so I had to find the link, put it in the class, and so it's a pain in the ass. I'm telling you, I want to pull my hair out.
I know.
If I didn't have blonde hair, I'd have gray hair.
That's why I'm waiting for Hank to get back to me, because I know he knows all that stuff, and he could do it in a second.
Oh yeah. He's probably listening, making us suffer.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Ass.
Laughing at us.
I know. But anyway, as far as all of these different apps, I don't know if the homesteading one has an app, but I know, because this next thing, I know they have a mushroom app. I know they have it for Android also, because I had all of these apps on my Android. I'm going to swapped over to iPhone. And they may have a slight variance in the name of it, but there is a mushroom one, and there's a native plant one, one for identifying edible flowers, foraging for wild edibles. No, they're not CBD edibles. These are berries, nuts, and all kinds of crap that's on the, out there in the wild. Also, how to identify undesirable plants. I'm sure people know what poison ivy, poison oak looks like.
Leaves of three. Leave them be. Leaves of three. Leave them be.
Yeah. Now, there is a thing, like stinging nettle. It's like, when you see it, you're going to know what it is. On the stems, there's tiny little fiber-looking, they're not spikes, but if you touch it, they break off. And that's what causes you to itch massively. So don't rub it in. Don't do anything, because it will spread. And it'll last about 15, 20 minutes.
Put
but
mud
it's like
on.
a field of it. You can't mix it.
Put mud on.
Put
mud on it.
It's green. Mud on it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that takes the thing out.
I just know it's a pain in the ass.
I know. I'm all over the place here.
So I know a lot of people think that like dandelions are a weed. Yeah, they're a weed, but they're actually edible. And the same thing with milk thistle. One, it's Scotland's flower. I don't know why they picked a weed for their damn flower, but it's that purple one, and they grow really tall. But milk thistle has a lot of different uses. So
burning nettle too can be useful.
Do what?
The burning nettle, you can make stuff out of that too.
Yeah, you can use the stinging nettle for, just use scissors or wear gloves when you pick it. Jesus, my dogs are retarded.
I never do. I just grab it from the bottom. They don't sting at the bottom.
Oh.
But you got to try to avoid not hitting the leaves.
I'll get a picture of it. We can get a picture and upload it so people know what we're talking about. But you could also, I got a book, it's called Foods That Heal, and it goes through every fruit, vegetable, berry, herbs, what you call it. I mean, it has everything in it. So that's another good book that you could get. You could actually get it online or get it right from the publisher. So now, apparently, people in Ireland still make their own natural fire starters today. Now, I'm going to go on the link because, like I said, each of these 145 things, there's a red words, and you just click on that, and that will actually open up to what it is that you want to talk about. And Ha! They use, well, no shit. We use that here too. You know the little, the little cans that go on the burners for like when you have banquets and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? That little blue flame, that gel.
Yeah.
You guys know what that is? Okay, yeah, that's what they use. Also, they use recycled materials. But cool, and this is what they're talking about. They have, and they show it. They got a candle. Oh, okay. I see. They wrap up magazines and stuff, and they wrap it up really, and they cut it. So, but yeah. Oh, that's not those wax things. They just opened up like the cans with the pop-up lids that has, I don't know, cat food in it, the little small ones. That's what they use. And they're making a candle with it. Huh, that's cool. But yeah, you just go on there and it shows how to make your own fire starter. Do you want to go over proper handling of firearms? I mean, it's kind of hard when you're on the radio. So pretty much don't point your gun at anybody. Doesn't matter if it's a handgun, a shotgun, a rifle, whatever. Even a bow and arrow. You got it. You know, there is going to be that one person. That's the reason why warning labels are made. Okay.
Yeah, my son's friend. He is doing the Clint Eastwood thing, spinning the gun in his finger, and it went off, and he shot himself in the leg.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I know. I watched him clean that out. That was pretty nasty. I think he shot himself with 45.
Oh,
if I can remember right. Yeah, he's got a big hole in his leg.
But yeah, I mean, so basically, there are many different theories about this, and the way we were taught in the Army is your gun or your weapon is always pointing down to the ground, not up in the air, because what goes up must come down.
And you always keep your trigger finger alongside until you're ready to shoot.
And also keep the safety on. So, especially if you're hunting. If you're hunting, well, it doesn't matter. Keep your safety on at all times. And just know, we can't reiterate enough. Never point it at anybody. You know, because it's just not smart. Now, if you have small children in the home, unless you've had handgun safety, rifles, gun safety, keep it locked away from your children. Don't teach your children until you've been properly taught how to handle guns. Because if you don't know how to handle them, how are you going to teach your kids? So, and I believe in teaching children how to use a weapon properly. I was taught at 8 years old. I was able to take it apart, clean it, and put it back together. And, well, it was a 30-30 muzzle loader, so I fell on my ass anytime I shot it. You feel like you're kicked by a mule when you're 8 years old. So I don't know jack about tying knots, so I can't help you, which is my own fault. I need to learn, except your basic knots. Bobby, I don't know if you know any.
What? Well, there's video. If I can do it, you can do it.
Well, a slip knot I know how to make, but that's it.
Yeah, you got bowlings and rolling bowlings, square knots.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And a lot of knots that you two probably tie all the time, which we call granny knots.
I
They're
know, like I
knots
said,
that
your basic knot.
that don't come
when
apart.
You double knot your shoes. But yeah, I mean, that's all I know. That's all I've, we didn't learn that shit in the Girl Scouts, and we didn't learn that in the Army. So medics don't have a need to know, so we didn't learn. We just learned the basic stuff,
Bobby's got Velcro shoes.
The Velcro. Slip on.
That's Lorna. With her feet up on the desk all the time.
Also,
those have shoe laces.
If you're going to hunt, make sure you learn your hunting laws, the rules and regulations. I know right now everybody has to have your hunting license. Sometimes it comes with your fishing license. But to be honest, with things the way they're going right now, the shit hits the fan. I think all of that's going to go out the window. Like our subject we talked about Monday about EMPs and all that stuff. Yeah, all your rules, regulations, and all that crap's going to go right out the window. Nobody's going to care as long as you know what you're doing. So, one, know what you're hunting and what you should be using to get it. Snares, traps. I would say you wouldn't use a 30-06 on a rabbit. It's obvious. So, know what gun, or I should say weapon, suits you best. So, also the butchering. If you don't know how to butcher something right now, YouTube it, Google it, or take it to a butcher or someone else who knows how to do it. The same thing with fishing. Especially for now, with what's going on, if you're going to be making, and we'll go over it more with like some of the survival gear, but have a basic a tackle box. Your hooks, sinkers, line, different pound test line, corks or bobbers, whatever you want to call them, or floats, I don't care. Lures, anything that you might use for fishing. Get you a small, basic tackle box that you can carry. They put them in those little the zip-up bags now. Instead of a lot of people have the big plastic ones. You don't need one of those for like an emergency. You should know how to sharpen your cutting tools, and also your household knives. Learn how to do your axe. Can you? Oh, I think you can. You can sharpen chainsaw chains, right? Bobby?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Yeah. I've never done it, so I didn't know how to do it, and I'm not going to.
There's a trick, and I learned the hard way. The first time I did it, I about wrecked my chain. You don't saw it back and forth.
You don't saw
That's a do not. You go one direction only.
Oh, okay. But yes, make sure with any tools that you have, also you need to maintain, and I hate to sound like a broken record, using a sling, if you have a sling, or a sickle to clear wood, a weed. Make sure there's nobody behind you, because if you got a sharp sling, you can actually, cause some serious damage. So the same thing goes with chainsaws. Don't put it between your legs when you start it. Trust me, there's a reason why.
Lorna.
I've seen seen the damage of a jackass who started the chainsaw between your legs.
Yeah, why do you think Warner went from being a man to a woman?
Oh, whatever. I have to have the chainsaw. I have to have the chainsaw on the ground with my foot in the handle so I can pull the thing. Otherwise, I can't start it.
Okay. Yeah. See, because of the nerve damage in my right arm, I have to pull my left. But the problem is, I don't have enough strength to hold it in my right arm, so I can't unless it's a push button. I can't pull. I cannot pull to start a chainsaw. Your lawnmowers, your push mowers, do not pick them up and trim your hedges with a push mower. That's what hedge trimmers are for. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking the fun out of it all. I know.
Fun leader.
If your rider mower or push mower is clogged, do not try to put your hand under it while it's running. Now, and I know my rider mowers, as soon as you got off the seat, it shut off. So, and most push mowers have that little handle that, you pull it from down to up, you pull it towards you, and as soon as you let go of that handle, it shuts off too. So, but there are people who bypass security measures. My father was one of those idiots. Had a table saw, I kid you not, and he got tired of the safety, the guard. And I told him, I was 16 at the time. And this is probably the reason why I got into nursing. Because we took the guard off, the plastic, the cover that covers the blade. And when he was cutting the wood and it finished, his hand kept going right into it and almost cut his finger off. So any type of power tool, lawn tool, anything, even down to your hedge trimmers, use proper safety. Wear safety goggles if you have, depending on whatever it is, because they are smart to have. So, also, can't really teach you how to clean fish on the radio, but like I said, there's a link on here. You can also Google it, YouTube it. There's good for everything. Also, it would be beneficial for you to know CPR and first aid. Right now, it's back to 30 and 2 for one person and 15 and 1 for two people. They went right back to the way it was. It wasn't broke, don't fix it. I don't know why they changed it. So it is advisable to know how to do it. And there's actually a video on our YouTube channel that I have a medic bag. You don't need to have everything under the sun in it. Just go by basic things. If you don't know how to use it, don't get it. So you don't want to be playing, what's that game called that we used to have with the doctor, and you had to use the little things to pull the, like the funny bone. Yeah, Operation. Yeah, we don't need to play an Operation.
Sure we do.
So
that's why we want to operate on weathers.
Yeah, I know. So, but that would be,
and
the circumstance. No.
And we can operate on you. We'll get them nerves working right.
Oh, my stuff's all jacked up. That's all I know. I felt like I moved my shoulder up or my arm from my side, and I went to lift it up, and I swear to God, it felt like two bones rubbing together. And I could feel the grinding of it, and it only does that every now and then. But also, in your first aid kit, you can use anything for a sling for your arm or things like that. Because I go over in the video how to use, if you're out and if you don't have this stuff, you can actually use whatever you find. You can always make a splint out of 2 sticks and a belt, whatever, make sure it's sturdy. So it's really important. You should know this, especially with the way things are going, and it's actually good to have anyway for common sense. Learn how to read a map and use a compass. I don't think they're referring to your typical atlas, but it is, common sense to know how to use a regular map. But I believe they're talking about the maps that have the elevations, which I couldn't read one of those maps to save my life. The topography maps, I have no clue how to read those. But I know how to use a compass. So it is important to have a map or an atlas. Because if shit hits the fan and we have an EMP, your cell phone's going to be useless, and so is anything else you have to Google Maps or what's the other map? MapQuest and all the other ones. You're not going to be able to use them. So that's important too. Making booby traps. Bobby?
Yeah.
Anything to say about making booby traps?
You already got the booby, and that's Lauren. and she's easy to trap.
No, that's you.
Any particular booby trap that would work? That I
can legally tell you on open national radio.
Yeah. Now, I don't mean like the booby traps they have on the movies now, where you're out in the woods and you got a little tripwire and the tree comes across with these spikes in it. Now, I'm not. Well, that would be a bad idea, but
and you can make them. They're called
those are legal
sticks.
if it's on your property. But here's the thing: know your state.
Yeah,
because
know
the
your
state
laws.
of Tennessee. The state of Tennessee says that you cannot use concertina wire, whatever you want to call it. You cannot use that to protect your home. Because if anybody gets hurt on your property while they try to steal your shit, you can get sued.
I think that's the law in Wisconsin, too, but I'm not 100% sure.
So, use barbed wire. Here's the thing. If you do booby traps, and this is booby for my own thing, too, you can make one obvious, like barbed wire, right? Have just 2 things of barbed wire going across, like a fence, right? So make it obvious because that will take their attention from the real booby trap. You know what I'm saying? That show, it wasn't Preppers. It was another type of show. And they dug a hole, probably about 2 foot deep, with a post hole digger. Actually, it was a little bigger than that. And they took 2 2x4s and put 16 penny nails in them, right? And they put a hinge on the bottom, or put them together. You know what I'm saying? And laid it across the top of the hole and covered it up with little twigs and stuff. And they actually showed they used a dummy doing it. And they would show what would happen if the person stepped in the hole. It's like a bear trap. Those big iron bear traps? Same principle, but using wood and 16 penny nails. And it works. So you could put those sporadically. So just come up with your own, whatever you think you might want to have for booby traps. But know your state or your country. In America, everything's offensive, so booby traps will probably be outlawed anyway. So, Make your own still water. Are they speaking of like moonshine water?
No. They're talking about. I mean, you can use it, but no, they're talking about purified water.
Oh no, they are talking about moonshine.
Are they?
Purify your water or make some moonshine in your own distiller. Distilling drinks could be a very useful.
Right. But I mean, scratch the joke about the actual shine, but you can distill water because you buy it in the jugs in the store. Yeah,
they use distilled water for a lot of things.
Like your CPAP machines and all kinds of things.
They're good humidifiers.
You can drink it too if it came down to it. It wouldn't get you sick.
Well, yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. I know a lot of people. They laugh about it and they're like, "Oh, I don't drink. Why would I stock up on liquor?" Because just say we're going to use EMP for example, okay? Because that would pretty much cause everything to crap to bed anyway. So. Just say you need something that you're out of. But Joe Schmo down the road has it, and he likes liquor. You could trade it. Because money's going to be no good. You know, it's going to be pointless. Which is why they also say buy silver and gold, but I'm too broke for that shit anyway. So you could use it to trade. Everything's tradable. Even your skills. If someone needs a roof fixed, but they don't have money or whatever, so you could fix their roof and they could give you something that they have. Ammunition is going to be another thing as well. That's tradable. I don't know what you could trade for ammo. Maybe if you want to swap out different types of ammo, I don't know. I won't. I don't think I'll be trading ammo. Toilet paper will be a very valuable commodity. Bleach and all of that. See, it's like moonshine. I don't know for you guys that do drink, you could actually clean with it. Everclear is the same thing pretty much as moonshine. The only difference is
Everclear will kill you.
I drank it. I've drank it before. That's
the only way you drink it is or jungle juice.
That's it. I don't know. I drank a shot of it, but I thought I was going to die afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. You got to watch out as to where you take a shot of moonshine. But see, the safest way to drink moonshine is before you even drink it, you pour it on the lid and you light it on fire. If it burns like a pretty blue color, it's perfect. If it just has like a flame, don't touch it because that's the stuff that'll make you blind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, also, there is a difference. It's not as stout as Everclear, but the thing about Everclear, one, Molotov cocktails. You can make it out of that. You can clean camera lenses. You can probably start your truck with it. I mean, it's not exactly the safest thing in the world to drink. Now, the only place you can buy 100% proof, actually it's 190, whatever you want to call it, is on military bases. You cannot buy the strongest Everclear in a liquor store. They won't allow it. But don't give it to the military. It's like 190% alcohol. So just watch out. So we got purifying water. This says learn weather forecasting. So I know you can't, without having the proper technology, I know you can't say it's going to rain next week. So you can only do today's weather, possibly tomorrow's weather, depending on the season. So, yeah, it says to predict when a storm is coming and how strong it's likely to be. Mother Nature gives off clues. One, look at your livestock. Look at your animals. They act different before a storm's coming. Like, I thought it was bullshit, but it's the truth. A cow will always turn away from the direction of a storm coming. I don't know why, but that's what they do. Also, you can talk to grandmama because her arthritis will be acting up and it's going to rain. Or it might be cold. So listen to your body. Pay attention. Do it now. I mean, you can do it now. Just watch. Tornado weather, the sky is usually a teal color, and you watch the clouds. I mean, just pay attention to things like that. Straight line winds that come, like Tennessee has a lot of straight line winds, and that's the most dangerous kind. I know in Georgia, for some reason, when the storms, they either go from west to east or east to west, which one of the two. I can't remember. My dad knew all of this. He was like a walking weatherman. I think they all come from the west. But if they had a storm coming from the east, it was going to be worse for some reason because naturally, because where we lived in Georgia was in Alma, which is next, almost by the coast, by Jacksonville, not far to Jacksonville, but close enough. So learn how to detect weather if you can. I'm sure Lorna should know about tornadoes. She's a tornado magnet. Lorna.
Go sleep.
I couldn't get to my button.
Oh, I was waiting. You get a lot more tornadoes than we do, and we're in Kansas.
Because we had that derecho storm, and then the next weekend we had 2 more tornadoes hit.
Who had that last derecho last year? It just wiped everything out. Where was that? It was farther over. It was above us.
I don't know. We had 2 of them, and in my county, we were right in the crossfires of the 2. If you Google it, and it actually shows
Iowa?
it.
Last year?
I
can't remember. Did you guys remember that where the government didn't do shit? The state or whatever, or nobody?
They didn't do shit. They didn't do shit here. I know that.
Yeah.
Because it was you.
Was all here, but they wouldn't come down my road.
Because it was you.
I know. I tried every day on my way home. Every day on my way home, I tried talking them into letting me borrow one of their machines.
But see, what's funny is I live in Wichita. Okay, you would think Tornado Alley. No, we don't. We get tornado warnings. Yes, they do get tornadoes here in this area, but not very many. However, we have strong winds, bad storms, and in the wintertime, we usually have a lot of ice. The thing is, 50 miles north of us is where they get all the tornadoes. And then Oklahoma is Tornado Alley. Is that in Oklahoma or Kansas or both?
I think it's Oklahoma.
Yeah, there's that one swath of land that is Tornado Alley, and that's why they call it. Now in Georgia, I know if you drive up 75, that's another one. The tornadoes, for some reason, travel along the highway on the side. I don't know why, but they just do. So,
Well, since we're talking about storms, I was just looking at pictures of my brother's property. He got wiped out by a flash flood.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah, I was looking at his pictures.
Yeah, I was just doing that, and he's going to be calling me, so I might have to leave the show for a minute or two.
No.
Okay. So, yes, learn your areas. Like Florida, the coastline has a lot of hurricanes. Florida has the most hurricanes than anybody knows. And then you know your flooding areas. Be mindful of where. And if you let the bug out, know where you're going, what kind of weather they have. You have to, you don't want to bug out to a flood-prone area, and then you lose all your shit. So, they have on here putting up a survival kit. But I'm going to go over the other two websites and talk about other things. Preparing for wildfires. Don't light a match on a windy day in a dry area. That's pretty much how to prepare to not have one. Right now we have red flag warnings. You are not allowed to start fires because it's extremely windy here and it's dry. It has not rained in 3 weeks. I know California is constant red flag. It never rains there. They're evil. They don't get rain. The same thing we already went over tornadoes. Prepare for blizzards. If you live in a blizzard-prone area, which is pretty much the whole top of the United States, and apparently Texas. But we have our own opinions of what happened there. Staying warm in a sleeping bag. I know there's different types of sleeping bags. When you get one, look at the label on it, and it will tell you what type of weather it's good for. Like the military and the Army, we had a 3-level sleeping bag, and we did not believe our drill sergeants in the basic training. We didn't believe our drill sergeants, and it was freezing. We had freezing rain. Everybody was soaking wet on that 10-mile ruck march during our FTX that last week of basic, and we were soaked. So we were told, we had to change clothes and all that crap, and it didn't matter because you hung your clothes up. They froze solid right where they stood. But in those type of sleeping bags they give you, you only have to wear, honest to God, is your T-shirt and shorts inside the sleeping bag. And it was below freezing. And people did not want to believe that. And they wore their ACUs and socks, and they were still cold. So make sure whatever your sleeping bag is made for, read it. And go by that, because it's not always a good thing. So, let's see. Know what uses you could use beeswax for.
None of your beeswax.
I mean, none of your beeswax. I know you can make candles out of it.
Yeah.
I think soap, but like I said, go on, because this is talking about making homemade candles too. Hobby Lobby sells all of that stuff, how to make soaps, candles, you name it, they got it. But it even has the supplies. There's also, just type it up, suppliers of soaps and candles and all of that. And you can actually go to the manufacturer, and they have a warehouse, and you can buy it straight from them. And they sell it in bulk, and so you might pay a little bit more. So before you get into it, before you know how to do it, make a few small batches first. So that's the best way to do it. Now, I use the wax burners just for the smell. Not as there's no wick in it or anything like that. Now, that wax, if you leave it on, it can lose its scent. Okay, so what I do with it is I just pour it in a mason jar, but it's got different layers of different colors. Well, all I have to do is put that on the stove in a pot with water and melt it and just drop a wick in it, and boom, there's a candle. So, I mean, I got tons of them laying around that could be used for candles. Recycle and repurpose what you can. Now, I happen to repurpose my coffee containers, the plastic ones, the big jugs. I have actually repurposed them for things that I use every day. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I hate it when I open a bag of flour, the 5-pound bags. It's just, it gets everywhere. So you can actually fit a whole 5-pound. You could put a whole 5-pound bag of flour inside of one of those coffee containers. The big one now, the one you pay $10 for. I get the folders. So, and then I took a black marker, a Sharpie, and wrote flour, sugar, rice, popcorn kernels. Even when I buy the dog's cookies, I buy them human cookies, and I put it in there because once you open a pack, it'll go stale. So, when I give them one, I eat one. But you can repurpose all of that. Now, if you're a diabetic, say, the two items to repurpose is your bleach bottles and your liquid detergent bottles. And just make sure that you tear the label off and write on it what's in it, and you could seal it and you could take it to any hospital or any clinic, or even put it in the trash. I believe you could put it in the trash. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it has to be in those two containers in order to put it in the trash. I'm just know your area of where you're at. But just say if something happens, well, it's not going to matter. So, so orange peels, reusing your citrus peels. Let's see. I'm not really sure what you can use it for, besides a potpourri. If you dry them out right, you can use them. A lot of potpourri has the citrus and all kinds of cool stuff in it. Let's see what it has, just for example. You can make an air freshener. I did not know that. You can make an air freshening candle out of orange peels. I did not know that. Take an orange, cut it in half, eat the middle, leave the center stem intact, pour olive oil into the orange just below the tip of the stem, and light the stem. Dude, that's cool. I'm going to have to try that. So you know that little, the little white part that's in the middle of the orange? Leave that, but cut everything out. So just cut the top part of your orange off. Peel everything out and leave that. So you pour olive oil. That's some cool stuff. I'm going to have to actually try that. That sounds pretty cool. I know I'm easily amused by the simplest thing. You can make an orange peel vinegar cleaner out of it, and it has instructions on how to do that. Let's see. Make orange peel rose for your potpourri. You can also use it as fire kindling once it's probably dried out. Use it in composting. Use citrus peels for insect repellent. And it looks like it's all oranges, by the way. Make orange peel powder So you probably, it looks like you dry it out and then grind it up. It says you could put it in wine. I don't know about that. You could add it to your grill, to the coals. I do know that you can take the orange peel or the orange and throw on top of chicken. So you can also disinfect your cutting boards with lemons and salt. You can use it to clean your microwave. I mean, there's just so much stuff, apparently. Let's see. Wow. I mean, it's like 30 different uses of freaking orange peels. Holy crap. Yeah, 30 uses for orange peels. Wow. So, yeah, you could do that. Using charcoal. I didn't know you could use charcoal in compost, but apparently you can. Let's see. The only time the activated charcoal would most likely, the only use would be to filter water. Do you know of any other use for it?
For what?
Activated charcoal.
Yeah, it's used for filtering water, but you can also filter other things through it. I mean, charcoal is very
wow, I did not know
very
this.
useful.
Well, apparently, you can use activated charcoal, making bar soap, lye, and water, olive oil, sunflower. Oh, Dr. Sasquatch. He makes that bar soap for men.
Right.
They have it in a clarifying face mask, a body scrub. I didn't know all this. A detoxifying shampoo. And I'll be damned if I'm going to do it for teeth whitening. Nope.
Yeah.
I will use baking soda. They use it in mascara, eyeliner.
Definitely. Like I said, it has many uses.
See, I didn't know all this. You can use it to boost your digestive system, gas discomfort, lower your cholesterol, food poisoning, or if you OD because you're a dipshit and you OD, they give you activated charcoal in the hospital. Also, wasp sting remedy. That's something that I need to know because I'm allergic to them little bastards. So, there's food uses, other things you can do with it. I mean, I didn't know that many uses for activated charcoal. Cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's just like just about anything that we discuss on these shows for survival. A lot of the stuff that we research and put out there, there's many uses for it other than what we put out there.
Yeah. I mean, I may not have tried all of this, but if anybody has, call us and let us know what you did with it and if it worked out well or whatever, or if you know of anybody in your family that uses it, let us know. Because, I mean, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do all of this stuff. Drying herbs. Damn it. A lot of people use herbs. For one thing, it's better than buying in your seasonings. There's no preservatives in it or anything like that. And it's also as an air freshener in your house, like the basil, the dill. I mean, it will make your house smell good too. Also, essential oils. Now, essential oils, it's not a cure-all for, like, measles, mumps, and rubella, no matter what these anti-vaxxers say. They'll tell you use essential oils. I mean, they help with certain things, but yeah. You can make organic mosquito repellent. You can make homemade remedies. You know, one thing my grandmother used to do, believe it or not, with mosquito bites or bee stings, she would take garlic powder, and make it a little damp and rub it on the sting, and it takes the sting away. And it also you could use meat tenderizer as well. Basic carpentry is something to know. If you have to, you know, I know that's the one thing I'm glad I have is basic carpentry. You know, I can't build a house. I can build a doghouse. That's about it. But to make some repairs, it's good to know basic carpentry. Operating heavy machinery, well, we can, yeah, I don't know it. I know how to use a rider mower, and that's about it. So if you're fortunate enough to have a tractor or like a backhoe, any of those heavy equipment, one, don't do it drinking. Don't do it using drugs. Make sure, you know, you're awake when you use it. And maintain all safety precautions. The same thing with being no basic automotive skills. But if there's, like we said, an EMP, your car's going to be useless anyway. Unless it's, what did we say, before the mid-'80s? Bobby?
What?
The cars that wouldn't be affected by an EMP was what, mid-'80s and back, or almost 90s? They won't get affected by it because they don't have computers. Oh, my God.
Right, right.
Jesus, I can't even get up. I'm so old. I wish I knew what the hell was going on with my broken body. But my knees and my legs are killing me. Oh, and I got to let my dogs out so they could be stupid outside. And I can't let her back out front because she pushed the damn fence out. Little heifer. Go outside. Be free. Ish. Another thing is know basic plumbing. Know how to replace your toilet valve covers. The donut underneath it, and it's not a real donut, but that's what it's called, under the toilet. Know how gravity works with plumbing. When I lived in Tennessee, we had a trailer, and my ignorant ex-husband did not go underneath, and he thought he was so brilliant, and he knew how to figure out the plumbing because we had to replace everything. And they had all that 1/4-inch pipe, and it freezes a lot there. So know about where you live and how to do the plumbing. And so he left it all straight. Gravity don't work that way. You have to have a slight decline to get it to move to the other direction. I don't know what the recommended PVC pipe is for plumbing. But I know 1/4-inch pipe, don't cut it. I mean, there's the sidewall thickness as well as the thin. Don't use the thin stuff for plumbing. I don't recommend it because our pipes froze and split. And when it thawed out, it was a mess. So that's why we had to change all the pipes, and we put in, I think it was 1/2-inch pipe, maybe 3/4-inch pipe. I don't know. It was pretty big. So, and I know a lot of people in Texas were having issues with that blizzard they had and their pipes busting and all of that mess. They actually make, it's called heat tape. And all it is it's like tape. It's a special tape, and you wrap it around your pipes, and you plug it in. Believe it or not, you don't always keep it plugged in. So that's the newest thing. You can always use an insulated foam, like what are those stupid things called? The pool noodles. Those foam things. You can actually split those down the end, from one end to the other, and line your pipes with it and tape it. You could probably use insulation, old towel, whatever. I mean, there's different things you can use to keep your pipes from freezing. Learn how to make your own oil lamp. I know kerosene. It's not advisable to use it. Well, I don't know. Is kerosene the only thing you can use for hurricane lamps? I know it is for the camping ones.
I think it's the safest thing.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure the room wherever you use they call them hurricane lamps. You could get the camping lamp. Make sure it's well vented because it causes that black smoke. And we used it in the tent. We had one of those teepee tents, and what we did was we hung it at the top because that's where the vent was at the very top. So just make sure if you have to use it inside, make sure that the house is vented. And if you spill it, make sure you clean it with whatever you can. Usually cat litter it is the best to clean that stuff up, but it will burn. Especially if it gets tipped over. So just make sure. I would put it in a pan of some kind, especially if you have animals running around or small little, I just call them crotch goblins. So, yeah, safety first. I know I hate to spoil it for everybody, but safety first. I know nothing about this, so I can't really talk too much about it. Cutting trees properly. If you're gonna, I just know that you don't want to. I know you wedge it and all of that, and then just make sure it doesn't land on your house or on someone. Do you know anything about cutting trees, Bobby?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's the Widowmaker? I know they have what's called a Widowmaker. I can't remember what it is exactly. I know it's the top part of the tree. When they cut the trees down,
it's like a snapback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just look up what a Widowmaker is. Well, there's two things. One is called a Widowmaker is a heart attack, but they also have that for trees. So, yeah, just know if you don't know a whole lot about cutting trees down, go look it up because there's not a place on here. Huh?
I said don't do it.
Don't do it. Well, I mean, if it's a small tree, if they're small enough, yeah, you want to cut it as close to the ground as you can. Because you could always, my ex used to get pissed off at me for doing this. I would use a chainsaw and cut it right to the ground. But you could always take a drill a hole in it, and pour gas in it, and burn it. Well, there is a problem with that. We found out the hard way. We had these trees, I swear to God, they had to be maybe 8 or 9 inches around in diameter, the big stumps, right? And there was 4 of them, and this is when we were clearing the property. And you could actually burn the stump, just put a fire on top around it, and you could burn it down. Well, the problem is you have to pay attention because the roots can go from one tree to the next. And that's exactly what happened. The fire went from one tree to the other, to the other, to the other. And thank God all the trees were cut down. But if you don't pay attention, know your root. Hopefully, you got to pay attention to that but you can also paint the tops of them, and they won't grow. So I'm not sure what kind of paint you got to use, but I know if you paint the top of it after it's cut, it won't grow. But the best thing is cut it to the ground, unless you have a stumper come in, and they'll stump grind it, which is pretty cool. I missed one. I've never done this. I've never had to. Splitting and stacking firewood. Do you have any experience in that? Bobby?
Any experience in what?
Splitting wood, stacking it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we used to do it the old style way with the wedge in the sledge.
Yeah. But I mean, I know there's not all wood is good for fire. Like pine. No. It really sucks. It's not good for a fireplace. I do know that because of the sap that's on the inside, especially if it's not a dead one. So, but yeah, learn, because there's no link on this one, that's why I was asking. Know what wood's around you, to what works best. But for stacking, I don't really know how to stack wood. I don't know if you have to put the bark on the top or the bottom when you stack it. Or do you stack it like, if you do it in quarters or whatever, how do you stack it just to make it like, just stack it up, or do you do it like Legos? Or Tetris, I should say. Is there a pattern that you have to go by?
What you want to do is when you're stacking, you want to stack it so that you've got like little air inlets alongside, little pockets.
Oh, to keep from getting moldy and wet.
Well, that and plus it helps it dry out quicker.
Oh, true, yeah. I mean, like going camping, we would just go and get tree limbs on the ground or whatever, break them up, and just stack it, and then cover it up so it doesn't get wet. Also, know your basic tools, like we said. Know what tools you have. Use safety when using drills, because it would, and what you call them? I can't even think what it's called. Nail guns. Yes, a nail gun can kill you, especially when it's uses an air compressor. I think do they all use air compressors? All the nail guns, or are some of them battery?
I think some of them are battery operated.
Would the ones with the air compressor be stronger? Like the velocity when it comes flying out? Would that be? I mean, because the battery, it can die down.
Yeah, right. I think the air ones are the most powerful.
Oh, okay. What the hell? Oh, I got Newsmax on, and something's going on somewhere. People are rioting, and they're destroying everything. Looks like Portland. I'm not sure where it's at, but it's going on right now. Anyhow, you can make your own solar panels. You can either buy them already made, or you can buy it yourself, the panels, the pieces, because that's what I did. And it sends you the whole kit. You just have to know how to do it. And you got to do it when you line them up. The polarity has to be the right direction, or you can just blow the whole thing. But I know there's a lot to solar panels. You have to have your battery backup. What's that thing called? where the electricity comes in, the box.
The junction box.
Yeah, you got to have one of those. And those little bastards ain't cheap. The one we had, luckily we paid $50 for it, but I just think it's where we got it from. But I believe, depends on where you're at, can run up to $200 for the junction box. So, but it's worth it. You could even do your house, like we live in the city. If I owned this house, I could do solar power, and whatever you don't use gets sent to the light company. The good thing about that is if you end up sending electricity to the power company, they have to pay you for the electricity that you didn't use that you ended up sending out. I know Tennessee does it because, that shit works. But I don't know. There's a lot to doing solar panels. Like how much you have to do your house, how many bedrooms, and what all. But I know trailers don't need very much. We had a wind turbine. That's a pain in the ass. So just know where you're at. If it's not windy, there's no point in having a wind turbine where you live. You know what I'm saying? We lived in the valley, in between 4 mountain ranges in Tennessee, and because of that, the wind would come down one side and up. So having the wind turbine did help. Here in Kansas, it's windy as shit. And so it would benefit someone to have a wind turbine. Well, like I said, you're a pain in the ass. There's also, what you call it, with the water. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank right now. Shit, Bobby. What's it called when you use water? With the mill. I for some reason I'm forgetting what it's called.
The water with the mill.
You know how if you live on a stream, and to use it for power, there's like a wheel, and it constantly makes it spin. I cannot think for the life of me.
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to. I got it on a tip of my tongue.
But you know what I'm talking about. They have it hooked up to whatever, and you could use that for.
Yeah.
It's not hydroelectric power, but it's on the same principle. But if you live near where there's a lot of moving water, and you have to do it in steps, where the water would go into one little like a bucket, or however you want to have it, and it would just keep going all the way around like a Ferris wheel. But you know what? For the life of me, I cannot think of what the hell it's called. Told you, having a brain fart. When it's where is it at? Oh, if you're stuck on something, ask for help. Don't. I know a lot of people hate asking for help, especially if a project's too big for you. Ask for help. If muscle is required and you don't have a lot, don't hurt yourself. Ask for help. So, gray water. You could recycle your gray water. It's also a good thing. You can reuse it. I wouldn't reuse it to drink, but you could probably recycle it to use for your toilets, your showers. You have to go through the whole filtering process and all that crap. But also, you want to keep your gray water from the direction where your drinking water comes from. So we had to deal with all that before we got hooked up to the sewer system. A lot of people with septic tanks, especially if you're out in the country, have to deal with gray water. and you have to keep it like I said, 2 different directions. And I know, like everything is from Tennessee because it's where I lived when I did this. It's at least 50 feet apart. Your pipe coming and going. It has to be at least 50 feet apart. This says learn to prospect for gold, but I don't know where the hell you're going to do that at. Because there ain't none around here. So I know there's Ruby Mountain, and that's over towards you, Bobby. But I can't think of where it's at. I don't know if it's in Virginia or the Carolinas, but I know it's over there. And you get you pay $5 for a bucket of dirt, and there's a possibility you might find gold or a ruby or emeralds or whatever. They're not going to be very big, but yeah, you could do that. Living within your means. People have an issue with this right now. They don't teach this shit in school. And I saw a video where they said they do, and they're full of crap. I don't know, Bobby, did your daughter learn anything about, I say economics, learning how to like balance a checkbook, paying your bills, and all that shit? Did they? No, her.
No.
Yeah, and see, I saw someone where they said, and I laughed. I'm like, seriously, where? Because from all the posts that I've seen, this generation, the Gen Z, has no clue. Half the millennials don't even know how to cook. So learn how to not have to put out more money than what you're taking in. So especially if shit happens, I'm telling you, you're going to have to know. Like, and the next thing is learn the art of bartering. Because like I say, you can use the liquor to barter with. Just say you know how to fish really well, right? But somebody else has something else, and they suck at fishing, but they want fish. You see what I'm saying? You could go fish for them and then swap something out, and then they have food, and you may trade some of your fish for some of their beef or pork or rice or whatever. So also never barter something that's like way out of – I wouldn't trade ammo for toilet paper, if you ask me. I'm just saying. Know what is a hard-to-come-by item. It's what you call supply and demand, because you'll learn that pretty damn quick. We're learning that now, especially with ammo, and at one point it was cleaning supplies, the toilet paper, supply and demand, prices go up, you know, for what you need. So learn a lot about that too. Know what you can live without. Bobby, what's one thing that you can live without? And one thing you can't live without?
That's a good question.
No, seriously.
No, I know.
Sex
it's a good
does
question.
not count. Sex does not count. That's something you can live without. As far as myself, I can live without alcohol. I quit drinking. So honestly, that's something that I can live without. Coffee, on the other hand, no. I don't think I can live without coffee. It would take a while before I didn't want to kill anyone. So yeah, learn your pro and your con. What is it that you absolutely have to have, and what is something that you couldn't give two shits about? So, do you even have any clue of what you can and can't live without?
Well, finally, I need me.
we got Werther We got Werther's and Lorna.
Okay, guys.
Hey.
One item.
It was
I
a
was
lot of
actually-
items we're trying to figure out.
She can't live without her dildo.
What is one thing
No
you can
comment.
live without and one thing you can't?
Weathers can't live without his White Claws and Trulies.
Whatever.
I know. Okay, guys. And if you're
I
married,
was actually food gathering. I just caught 24 crappie.
Cool.
Yep.
So what can you live without? What can you live without? And your spouse does not count.
Electricity. I don't need it.
You can. True. Which is why I can go back to what I said. The Amish have everybody beat. Just saying. Except Mennonites. Mennonites they're a more progressive form of Amish. They do have electricity. They do have vehicles, and they do have phones. So, but yeah, the Amish, man, they got it made. It doesn't matter to them. They don't have electricity. I've been without electricity. You just have to know how to live when you don't have it. Same thing with water. What's one thing you can't live without?
Water.
Yeah, you got to have water to survive, otherwise you're dead.
True.
Chocolate chips.
True.
Chocolate chips.
Lorna,
God.
SOL. No, seriously. Well, that's why I said coffee. And I would have to wean myself off of it. At one point, we had like four things of coffee, and it was the big, huge containers. And we're coffee drinkers, so we would have to wean ourselves off of it. You know. But you're right. Water is something you cannot live without. But I'm talking, like, notwithstanding water. You can't count water then. Okay, what's one other thing that you can't live without? And don't say food. I'm talking things that we take for granted right now. So what was one thing?
Yeah.
Lorna, you got chocolate chips that you can't live without. Okay, what would one thing be that you take for granted that you just couldn't live without?
My recurve bow and arrows, ammunition.
True.
My guns.
What about smoking?
Yeah.
Oh, dear
that
God.
yeah.
No, I'm serious because
Cigarettes, big time. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, you can wean yourself off of drinking, okay? You could do the same thing with drinking sodas. I quit drinking soda 2 years ago. Actually, it was 1.5 years ago. I quit drinking soda. I don't drink it. All I drink is water and coffee. So I actually had to go 3 months without coffee creamer. And when I was overseas, I thought I was going to die, but I did it, you know. But, so things like that, know what you possibly couldn't live without or you can live without. And if it's something that you cannot absolutely live without, stock up on it so you have it as long as you can. Connecting with other people. Make sure it's people you can trust. And this goes for like why we want everyone to do meet and greets, it is to get to know who's in your area, what their strengths are, what your strengths are, your weaknesses. It's really important to know what your weaknesses are as well, because you don't want to get caught with your pants down.
Well, that's
my weakness is the fact that I'm weak. My back is all jacked up, so I could not lift up heavy objects. That's my weakness. So I would want to make sure that I had someone who could help me lift up something heavy. You know. And so my biggest strength is I'm a nurse. That's my biggest strength. So yes, I would be able to help take care of people in the group.
You're a nerd?
A nerd, yes, that too.
I can lift a lot.
So that's why it's important to connect with people.
12 ounces don't count.
Yeah, I know. 12 ounce girls don't count.
Yeah, whatever.
So what is one of your guys' strengths and one weakness? I know I'm making this interactive tonight.
My strength?
Yeah.
My strength is I'm a survivalist. I mean, I know how to make fire. I know how to build shelters. I know how to food gather.
We made fire.
I mean,
fire.
So you're like a jack of all trades when it comes to survival. Okay.
I can make anybody smile. Hey, girls.
What's the weakness you have?
I'm not really sure.
Smoking.
Yeah, smoking is my weakness.
Well, no, and the reason why I say that is it could become a problem for stamina, like if you have to run or I don't know how you are as far as being physically fit, but someone that smokes, it could cause a lot of problems for breathing.
Oh, I can run if I need to. That's a fact.
Yeah, I can too. Oh, don't get me wrong. As broken as I am,
I'll be dying later, but
yeah, see,
that shit went out the door after I got out of the military, man.
You know what? Honestly, another weakness could be for someone is being by themselves. Can be a weakness because you don't have anybody to help you.
No problem. I have no problem.
No. I mean, no, I know, but certain circumstances, it's helpful to have somebody else.
Well, I'll tell you this. With having somebody in a survival situation, it could either hurt you or it could help you.
Exactly.
It all depends on what they know.
Yeah, and that's why I say you need to get with people to build on that can help build on your weakness, and you could help build on theirs. Now, just say, and I'm going to use this as a prime example, but if you watch zombie movies, this is the reason why I'm saying this. They have people who don't do jack shit. And you become, if you can't fight, you can't do this, you can't cook, you can't, anything. They become your weakest link. And what's going to happen? You'll die.
Oh, shit, I'm screwed.
Okay,
I know.
The thing. I'm going to give you, and this is facts, for all these people that are thinking about zombie apocalypse. We already have now.
Yep.
So that's among us already going on right now.
What's a zombie? They're brain dead, right?
Oh, they're definitely
all of
brain
these
dead.
Liberals and snowflakes, they're brain dead. they're a danger to society.
You just named the Democrats.
Well, true. But you know what I'm saying? So they're brain dead. They have, and also, you know what's also dangerous? Lone wolf mentality. You can't have a lone wolf mentality person in a group because they will only think of themselves and not the greater good of your group. I don't know
Lone wolf
unless I'm wrong.
mentality will get yourself killed.
Yeah. But like you said, if you have to be alone, you can.
Oh,
I have to.
Could. But
well, I'm about pretty sure I'll be alone.
Just come down here. I got 2 other people that's in the group, but they don't. Laura works 6 days a week, so she doesn't participate a whole lot. But her and Ernie, he was in. He's an Army veteran, but they're next town over. So I'm on one of these days. We'll get together and do some training and whatnot. But the way it looks right now, it'd be just me and my son, and maybe a couple of his friends. So for us, that's all.
Hey, Kim, you're close enough to me. You make it down here, we'll head to the Shawnee.
True.
And I know that area like the back of my hand.
How far? Would we say 8 hours? It was.
What, to Kansas?
Well, no. I know we figured out to the LBL was 8 hours for us to go straight down.
Right.
Not straight, but pretty much a direct route. It's about 8 hours. How far were you from the LBL?
About hour and 45 minutes, but I know.
Oh, you suck.
I know a lot of different ways and a lot of different countrysides, so you don't have to drive.
Oh, okay. I know Jackson Falls. That's another. I mean, it's falls. There's a creek that goes through that. It's all mountainous. It's completely. You could camp there, but nobody does. So know whatever area that you could get to. Now, like we were saying, if it came to an EMP, well, we be SOL, and we here. We don't go anywhere unless we had a horse and cart. So, not sure how far our dogs could drag us. But, you know what I used to have, and I sold it, is a 64 Kaiser Willis Jeep. And I rebuilt that bitch. The motor, everything.
Why
the
the hell
did
you get rid of it?
Because I couldn't move from one side of Tennessee to the other. I moved to Fort Campbell, and I had, get this, 2 trucks, 2 4-wheelers, and a trailer, and a Jeep, and a boat. Where the flipping hell was I going to put it all? I moved into a townhouse. Yes, I was. I had every cop in Harriman ask me if I would sell that. And I'm like, no. I was offered $20,000 for that. And I sold it for $100 because it was the last minute and I had to get rid of it. So, yes, something like that. It was actually in Vietnam. I actually had the paperwork on it. A lieutenant owned it, or I owned it, but it was his. And I replaced the tires. It was expensive. But something like that is good to have because it doesn't matter if there's an EMP. So I don't know how you would do that for your vehicle. Oh, excuse me. Unless you make your garage a Faraday box and park your car in it. That'd be the only way. But that all for the 145 homesteading things. We're still working on how to figure out how to post all this stuff on Blog Talk and our YouTube. We'll figure it out one of these days. But I guess next week we can go over the other 3 websites that I found that are pretty cool. So, and I don't have anything like to say for as far as the you just can't make this shit up. Anyone do anything stupid lately that we could just shake our head at?
Fuck, I deal with stupid all the time.
So what's something that's really stupid that you've dealt with that you just can't believe they're still alive? Because that's what we added to the end of the show to get a good laugh.
I had a lady come up to me, ask me why I wasn't wearing a mask.
Oh, Jesus.
And I told her if she doesn't get away from me that I'm going to throat punch her.
Well, yeah, she already did.
She left.
That's...
It worked.
What was it? I know I had something, but I just can't remember. I saw it, and I was like, Jesus, I just can't believe the direct amount of stupidity there are in people. But yeah, I'll have to find something for Monday. I already went through the 60 questions. You missed all of those, Weathers. I'm like, just questions that make you go, what the fuck?
Weathers always misses all the good stuff.
I know.
Nothing surprises me.
Oh, no. Some of these questions, oh, yeah, they were a doozy. They're just stupid questions. I kid you not. They're just, like, random out there questions. Like, why do they call them apartments when they're all together?
I don't know.
No response? Oh, Jesus.
No.
Why is it? It was just things like that. It was just really... So I thought about for Monday's show, I know we've been doing a lot of weather things, and things like that. So with all of this shit going on, I thought it would be good to go over the Constitution. And
a lot of people
don't
know
the
Constitution or the Bill of Rights. A lot of people don't know the Constitution or Bill of Rights.
Exactly. One thing real quick that I learned today, or I saw today, they're not going after the Second Amendment. Okay? And this makes sense. What they're going after is the Fourth Amendment. And that's the right for the seizure of your home. And that's why they're doing that bill. If someone thinks you're a danger to yourself, the cops can come into the house without a warrant, without anything, and take your guns, take your knives or whatever you have. So that's what they're really going after is the Fourth Amendment, because every time they attack the Second Amendment, it backfires. Now they're trying to take shotguns away.
That ain't going to happen.
I don't know why. No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. The red flag laws and all of that. So that's why I thought it was really important. Maybe we should start going over the
There's
Constitution.
too many people out here that hunt, use shotguns and rifles.
Oh, by the way, I posted a video on a chat room and on our national page, and it's about the Second Amendment. The idiots on there are not veterans. No, go watch it. Go watch it. Because they said an M4 carbine, whatever, is the same as an M16.
Is the same as what?
An M16. And an AR-15.
No, it ain't.
No, it's not. So just go. It's a 3-minute. You know who the angry cop is? He's a drill sergeant. It's him. He watched the commercial, or it's not a commercial, it's a video, and they're trying to say that nobody needs an AR-15. It's an assault rifle. And if you were in the military, you know that an AR-15 is not an assault rifle. So needless to say, they're actors, and they're using, now they're trying to say that the military is against the AR-15. So, Bobby, we have 3 minutes left.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Again, everybody, I'd like to say thank you again, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter tomorrow. I know it's going to be tough on a lot of people, especially those of us that, just recently lost loved ones, but just putting that out there. Happy Easter to everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for being on the show. Weathers, Lieutenant General Weathers, Captain from Wisconsin, Lauren Munson Slacker.
Yeah.
I love y'all, and have a good night. God bless America, our troops, first responders, our kids, and our veterans, and especially God bless the Defender 7. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.